So what is going on, guys? And as you can tell by the title of the video, we will be going over exactly step by step how I frame and align trades, as far as how I handpick my quality setups from the low quality setups. Okay, so being able to understand what a quality setup is versus a low quality setup will help you in deciding, which days you tend to trade, as well as um, what kind of price action you need to see intraday in order for you to frame a trade or a trade idea. Okay. As always, the lifetime access to my private mentorship, as well as you'll get every course that I've released within the last 2 years. Um, all of that is only $85 right now. It will remain $85. It is the last thing that I'm ever making, as far as educational content and mentorship goes. Um, so do not wait to get your hands on that. Okay, only $85, and it comes with 3 courses as well as plus lifetime access to my private mentorship. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and break it down. Okay, so looking at ES and Q, um, notice that I'm just watching the weekly chart for the next couple of weeks, and the next couple of months. I'm solely just going to be an observer of the markets. Okay, so I'm gonna watch how price relays over the next couple of months or so. But let's go ahead and drop down into our NQ chart here. Okay, so I should go into a daily, maybe a 4 hour. Okay, now when I'm looking for trades, okay, let's create a little checklist. Okay, so when looking for trades, all right, one, am I aligned with the higher time frame? Okay, so that's number one always. Am I aligned with the higher time frame? Okay. Two, is the higher time frame order flow bullish or bearish? This is another thing we ask ourselves. Okay, so am I aligned with the higher time frame? Okay, so is that, are we trading into a 4 hour fair value gap? Are we trading into a 1 hour fair value gap? Are we already inside of a fair value gap? Um, and are we looking for price to expand lower, depending on if the fair value gap's holding? All of these things, right, deal with, are you aligned with the higher time frame? Okay. Now, number three, do we have a higher time frame PD array above? All right, let's say, do we have a higher time frame PD array 15-minute or higher? Okay, so do we have a higher time frame PD array that we are reacting off of or higher? Okay, 4, is there SMT? Okay, so is there SMT and is there IOFED? Okay, so what is IOFED? That is institutional order flow entry drill, and it is something that I'll make a specific video on later this week. Okay, so am I aligned with the higher time frame? Okay, is a higher time frame order flow bullish or bearish? Okay, do we have a higher time frame PD array, 15-minute or higher? And is there SMT and is there an IOFED? Okay, those are the 5 most important things I'm looking for. Okay, is there SMT? Is there an institutional order flow entry drill? as well as do we have a higher time frame PD array, 15-minute or higher? Is the higher time frame order flow bullish or bearish? And am I aligned with the higher time frame? Okay, these are the 5 things that are a part of my daily, trade checklist. Okay, I always want to make sure I'm trading with higher time frame alignment. Okay, I always want to make sure I'm trading with the higher time frame order flow. Okay, I also want to always incorporate at least a 15-minute PD array or higher if I'm trading off the 1-minute chart. I'm also looking for SMTs between ES and Q and YM. And I'm also looking for, on the pair that I'm actually trading, is there an institutional order flow entry drill? Okay, or the true market structure shift pattern. Okay, so now that we have our trade checklist and how we defined what is a quality A plus setup, okay, every quality A plus setup, all 5 of these must be present. Okay, you must be aligned with the higher time frame. You must understand whether or not the higher time frame order flow is bearish or bullish. You need to incorporate a PD array or of some sort above the 15-minute or the 15-minute. Okay, you need to have an SMT. Now, every trade, there will not be an SMT, and it will still produce an A plus trade. Okay, but for our A pluses, we know that SMT must be present. Okay, is there an institutional order flow entry drill? Okay, or a true market structure shift pattern? That is our 5th one. Okay, so if we are going to go into a day like this day here, okay, so we're going to back up into Wednesday at Wednesday, December 18th. Okay, we're going to hide this drawing. Okay, so notice Wednesday here, we have FOMC come out. We now see it is now Thursday, the next day. What do we have here on our 4-hour chart? Large 4-hour bearish imbalance. Now we drop down into our 1-hour chart. I don't know why it's starting to go so slow and choppy, but now we'll see on our 1-hour chart. We can mark out the more intermediate 1-hour imbalance here. Okay, let's go back to 7 o'clock here. Okay, now notice on our 15-minute. Okay, what do we also have here? 15-minute imbalance right here. Okay, so at this point in time, we have identified that our higher time frame, we go back to our 4-hour, our higher time frame to me looks extremely bearish. Okay, notice if we are already anticipating our higher time frame to be bearish and we're looking for what price does after 6 o'clock, okay, we understand that the 4-hour is bearish. We understand that the 1-hour chart is bearish. Okay, so we're aligning our higher time frames. Okay, so the 1-hour chart here is bearish. We're anticipating any bullish reactions to be solely retracements into bearish PD arrays for then price to continue lower. Okay, where's our eyes right now? Eyes are currently set on that low there. If we are looking for a bearish continuation, and that is sell side liquidity. Okay, so we're anticipating after price has rebalanced itself to fill in a PD array of some sort, price then should continue and expand towards sell side liquidity. Okay, So now we drop down into our 15-minute, okay? 15-minute order flow since midnight open is bullish, okay? See what happens. Price gets closer up into this PD right here, okay? Notice how price closes inside of this bearish gap here. Boom, okay? Notice we have displacement here. Now we would look for our entry now, because our 15-minute higher time frame order flow after tapping into this 1 minute or this bearish PD array up here, okay? Notice price rallies up. We then displace below the old swing low here and imbalance. We drop down into our 1 minute. Now this is where we would look for any SMTs between ES and NQ. Sorry about this. This was a very high resistance day, as we can see here. So just going to have to scroll right on through all of this price action here. Okay, so boom, end of the day. You can see predominantly for the entire day here, we are bearish and we trade below the true opens, okay? But notice how we broke this trade down, okay? We started from the higher time frames, understanding whether or not we are bullish or bearish, okay? And then we dropped down into the lower time frames, okay? Now, we had our higher time frame checklist. I'm gonna go ahead and remove drawings here. Remember what the higher time frame checklist was, okay? Am I aligned with the higher time frame, okay? Am I aligned with the higher time frame, order flow? Are we bullish or bearish? Okay. Do I have a 15-minute PD array or higher? Okay. Is there SMT? And is there institutional order flow entry drill? Okay. That is your overall checklist. Now let's go and check your entry criteria. Okay. So your entry checklist, okay, your entry checklist would be, okay, starting, is there SMT? Okay, there doesn't always have to be an SMT, but on your A plus setups, SMT should be present near or around the low that you enter around. Okay, so is there SMT? Is there institutional order flow entry drill? Okay, has there been a sweep of liquidity? Okay, are we delivering inside of or away from a PD array? And number 5, Are there clear draws on liquidity? Okay, so for our entry checklist, we want to understand, is there SMT? Is there institutional order flow entry drill? Has there been a sweep of liquidity? Are we delivering inside of or away from a PD array? And are there clear draws on liquidity? Okay, so if we drop into a 1 minute chart, we're going to go to a random day like this day here, maybe even the day before that, Thursday, Friday. Yep, it's going to go with a day like today. Okay, 6 a.m. here. Okay, so on our 4-hour chart, what does it look like here? Okay, price on our 4-hour looks pretty bullish in my opinion. Okay, we created a intermediate swing low inside this volume imbalance here. Price then starts to expand away from it. It is now 6 o'clock New York time. Let's drop into our 1-hour. We drop into our 1-hour chart. You notice price is closed above this high here. Price tapped into this gap here at 6 a.m. 7, 8, 9 continues to follow higher. Okay, so at 6 a.m. we're actually going to look at that candle there, right? Because if we're looking at price after 6 a.m., like I tell all of my students, you're watching to see what price does after 6 a.m. Currently, so far, price looks extremely bullish. So we're going to mark out 6 a.m. We're going to mark out 12 o'clock. Notice we have a bullish value gap right here. So we have the 1-hour for value gap. So we're going to find a 15-minute for value gap. So we go into our 15-minute chart. Notice this 15-minute price at 6 o'clock comes down. This 15-minute PD array overlaps with the hourly PD array. Or obviously now, if we're bullish, we're looking for price to now trade towards this high here after filling that balance. At this point, our higher time frames we've already established. Higher time frames bullish. 15-minute order flow here looks bullish. Okay, let's drop down into our 1 minute chart. Do we have a higher time frame PD array? Correct. We do have a higher time frame PD array. Okay. Do we have a 15-minute PD array or higher? Yes, we do have a 15-minute PD array. So now let's watch and see what price does. Okay. A price quickly expands above that minor buy side liquidity after tapping into our PD array here. Notice at this point you're waiting for 8:30 to release. Notice how price is trading back into that minor buy side liquidity. 8:30, we have an expansion higher. We always know we're waiting to enter until after 9:45. I did not mean to do that. So let me go all the way back here. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties here. Replay mode. Select bar. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, so my apologies, guys. Okay. So we're waiting for price after 9:45. Notice 9:30 releases here. Price trades above these highs here. Okay, so notice after 9:45, price retraces back into these old highs, being this fair value gap right here as well. Notice you're already extremely bullish on the day. You've already tapped into a 15-minute PD array here. You've already tapped into a 1-hour PD array. Price is continuing higher. Okay, so you're still in alignment with that bullish time frame, or your bullish higher time frame. On the 1 minute here, as price breaks above this breaker, any entry at the midpoint of this breaker or the lower quadrant of the breaker, with your stops going to the low here or the low below this fair value gap right here where the BPR is created. Okay, this is where we see our institutional order flow entry drill. So let's zoom in on it. Let's see what it looks like, so you guys truly understand what institutional order flow entry drill looks like. A bullish institutional order flow entry drill is simply a SIBI to the left being broken by BISI to the right. So look at that. You have a intermediate swing high, intermediate swing low that takes out liquidity. Price then rallies, leaving a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that's created as we are displacing through the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency to the left. Okay, so as price creates this intermediate swing high here, this intermediate swing low, price then displaces through the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency with a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. This gives us our true market structure shift pattern. And anytime we see this happen in price, we understand that this should now be the protected swing. Okay. Notice price after 9:45. We're anticipating this low to be the low that's protected. So we are buying any entry inside of this fair value gap here for a breaker block. So hopefully that's kind of giving you a good idea on how we can frame trades, how we can enter trades, and how we can win quality setups. Now, on a given day like today, you could have also waited until after 10 o'clock to come out. Those of you like to trade the 10 o'clock power of 3, okay? Those of you that like trading the 10 o'clock power of 3, what happens? 10 o'clock opens up. We have accumulation. Price is making a low inside of this breaker here. And then right at 10:22, price then starts to expand higher, okay? So entering anywhere inside this breaker, targeting anywhere from like a 1 to 2 is always pretty good here, okay? Notice you can capitalize on moves like these, waiting until after 10 o'clock. For the most part, the best trades of the day come either, after 9:45 or after 10 a.m. Okay, every day, the best tradings of the day majorly come from 9:45 to 10 o'clock. So notice how we dropped down from our higher time frame. We made sure we aligned ourselves with the higher time frame bias. Okay. Notice how we waited when it comes to entering exactly what we want to see as far as SMTs, institutional order flow entry drills. Okay. This is how you should every day be coming to your chart and marking out price. Okay. You make sure you always start with your higher time frame checklist. Okay. Remember, we'll go back through both of these right now. Okay. On the higher time frame, you always want to make sure you have your is your higher time frame bearish or bullish. Okay. Then you want to look on your 15-minute chart and tell yourself, is the higher time frame order flow currently bearish or bullish? Okay. After understanding what the higher time frame order flow is, you should then look for SMTs. And not only SMTs in the institutional order flow entry drill, but you should also be looking for your higher time frame PD arrays. Okay, so you need a 15-minute PD array. If you're trading the 1-minute chart, you need to incorporate a 15-minute PD array of some sort. Okay, if you're trading anything on the 1-minute chart, you need to incorporate a 15-minute PD array. Okay, So as far as the entry checklist goes, okay, you break it down. Is there SMT near or around where you entered? Okay. Is there institutional order flow entry drill or the true market structure shift pattern? Okay, you want to ask yourself that. Are you delivering into or away from a PD array? Okay. Are there clear draws on liquidity? Okay. All of these things you want to make sure you're checking off your list as you're looking to frame a trade to make sure you're always consistently, um, you know, only entering on the most probable setups. Okay. It's better to take a loss on an extremely probable setup than it is to take a loss on a setup you know you shouldn't have been taking. Okay. So hopefully this video has helped you guys. Hopefully this video um, gave you a little bit more of an outlook on how to specifically frame good trades as far as all the rules and the criteria that you need to follow when looking to frame those trades. I've provided to you all. Feel free to copy those checklists that you see me make in the video, as well as even feel free to make your own checklist. Okay, make your own checklist similar to mine. Maybe throw in extra things of your own that you would like to follow yourself. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. And yeah, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.